Hey, what is up, you guys? Here, Johnny here with Anatomy Bar, just to help you raise the bar so that you can become the best version of yourself and you can ultimately become the man that you've always wanted to be. Now, I'm usually talking about just health and fitness and lifting weights and eating healthy. However, fitness and health transcends more than just your body. It has to do with your mind, your emotions. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today and specifically why it's so important to protect your energy. I'm going to be doing this today with my partner here, my brother, Quincy James. Please introduce yourself, bro.
Hey, how y'all doing today, man? This Quincy James, man. Come in, give more of an insight on as men protecting our peace, man, and protecting that mental muscle, man, because it's crazy. It's crazy out here, man. And it's more of a thing off of society feels that, a man doesn't have feelings or, it's society based, but we go get to some things because it's gonna save other men's lives, man. That's going through it and really dying in the inside, don't know where to turn, man. So
That's true.
just to give you a chance to free yourself up, man. We're here.
That's right. That's right. And you gave me a statistic just a moment ago about the suicide rates between men and women. What was that again?
Oh man, suicide rate for men is 85%. Women are 30%, man. Because men, bro, we don't know how to open up. But the thing about it, we shelter ourselves because the thing about it, when we open up, we consider that soft. We consider it
Mm,
as too vulnerable, this and that, but it's not that's not good, you know what I'm saying? Because you really self torture, self damage, you know what I'm saying? You really dying in the inside, man. We have to have a safe place where we're able to open up to talk and to share things that that's going on. Because men, we fight our battles different. Our battles, it's just a fight, man. It's a daily fight, man. We have to just be able to open up. We'll be able to reach out to one another, man. You know,
that's
that's the
real. That's
main thing.
powerful. That is powerful. And it's so true. We absolutely, generally speaking, we don't really talk about our emotions. We don't talk about our feelings, but you see it in the world today, how it got us messed up in relationships and just dealing with stress and everything else. So we're actually going to talk a little bit specifically about protecting your energy and even how it can relate to relationships, not just with yourself, but with the people that are around you, because that energy, it transmits. We share energy. You can go into a room and tell how the energy is if you're sensitive enough to it. And a lot of us kind of got disconnected from that awareness, right? So we want to see if we can help you guys bridge that gap and really kind of be able to sense the energy with maybe a partner, with yourself, so that you can understand how to navigate all of it. Because this world is crazy. And like Quincy, you just said, like, we as a whole, just the man side of the sphere, the yin and the yang, we have not really gotten a full grasp our emotional intelligence, because not even because the reality is the world has changed, right? The dynamics of couples in the world today has changed. The dynamics amongst men in this current age has changed. And we're going to see if we can help bridge that gap because it's necessary. So I'm going to ask you actually really quick. What would you say your overall kind of upbringing has been around your emotions? And I'll talk about mine as well.
Oh man, I had it. It was pretty rough, man. Left my dad left when I was 3. I was raised by three strong women. But I had role models. I had models around, bro. But I fell into, I went into the streets a little bit, dibbled and dabbled, but my record is clean, say that my record is clean, but it still had an effect because that man figure wasn't there to
Mm,
give you that real, I had figures, but I didn't have that, right type of structure. I wasn't raised around the right type of structure to build me up as the man that I am today. But well, I'm thankful for going through everything that I went through to become the person that I am today. So I'm very grateful and thankful of it all, man. So it helped out a whole lot. And I'm able to reach out and talk to other people that's, went through those same patterns or going through the same things, to help them out to understand, hey, man, it's going to be all right. Just, stay focused, herking on to the people that have a like mindset like you. Don't worry about fitting into the other people who following the crowd, following the trend and all that. No, man. Like we was talking earlier, if you look into school, to be in the school, man. If you play band, be in the band. If you play ball, be into that. Be locked in, man. Don't let nobody steal you off your path, man. And that's the
Right.
thing that's mainly the most hardest thing, man. Staying focused. Staying
Mm.
focused. Staying on that
Bro,
path,
you hit
man.
like four things really quickly. I don't even know if you hit it. I don't know if you everyone. I want to make sure everyone caught it. So, the first part that I picked up on that you just mentioned is you didn't necessarily have your father, but you had strong women in your life, and kind of I alluded to it a little bit, like the yin and the yang, they're both necessary at the end of the day for you to fully be balanced, right? So I know a lot of us didn't have our fathers growing up. I didn't have my father growing up in my life, and that's something that goes along on a lot of people's lives. And we can see how it manifests as you get older. You don't always know how to handle certain dynamics because you didn't have that strong male kind of figure in your life. The other part you touched on, so it was one, the father, the yin and the yang. You touched on like if you're into the band, do the band. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing or what everyone else is wearing. If there's everyone's playing basketball and you like the band, like you have a gift. Like that is your energy. And I feel like that's one of the things that we can even touch on today as well, of being aware of what you're naturally geared towards. That is your gift here on earth, and we need to kind of dive into that and shed more light on it versus putting it away. Like if you're passionate about something, that is your energy. That is how your body is turning that emotional energy into something tangible, right? So we need to protect that and be aware of it and not always be looking to fit in because most people, I'm honestly say this, most people are not really 100% with where they're at. Like, so if you're following people, you're
No,
following
no, bro.
other
No,
confused people, you know?
because growing up, I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a heart doctor,
Mm,
honestly. But I didn't make it to where I was at. But I still was able to do other things like coaching kids. My first 10U basketball team, I was able to reach out to them. Um, I was able to just be around kids, man, because kids that's going through, and then I was able to talk to them, and they would come to me and open up and talk to me, and tell me things that they had going on, personal things. Like I'm like, okay, me. Do I have it written on my
mm,
face to open up?
mm.
But kids know when it's a safe place, man. They know when it's a safe place to open up. But I talk to kids daily, man. I talk to people daily. I was just airing my tie up earlier, and I met this Mexican guy. His name was Joseph, and
Mm.
we just sharing the Arab truck. You know what I'm saying? We went to talking, and I just tell him a little bit of things about that. I'm a selfless person, and I'm a humanitarian, and and I told him we don't meet by coincidence. Everything is on divine purpose. Everything is on a divine timeline. So we have to understand that everybody crosses your path for a reason. And I feel
Right.
like everybody that crossed my path, I see a little bit of myself in every person that I run across. And that's just how it goes, man.
So hold up, bro, because I don't want this stuff to go over people's heads, man, because oftentimes we hear things, we don't really digest it. So I'm gonna take it from where you ended and bring it back to what you were saying, because one, you touched on everything is in the divine plan, which is so true. And I feel like we often neglect that. So there's two parts to this. We often neglect that there is a higher consciousness, a higher organization, right? And we almost have the ego to oh, that's not me. Like everything that you see on earth, man, and in the universe, that stuff is not chance. That stuff is a divine guidance that created it to be that way. And almost then we got to make this a two-part show channel or episode, because when we
Most
talk
definitely.
about right, when we talk about our being here on earth, it has to be ordained by something greater than us. The way that our cells form, there's no way that any of it is by chance. So for us or any individual to assume that, oh, life is against me, you are almost putting yourself above God in terms of that can't apply to me because my life is crazy. Like we need to really be able to tap in and really understand that we are here, to your point, with a divine purpose, with a divine intention, and all of it is an intentional, right?
Right,
So so that's like a whole thing in itself. We need to
right,
really understand, overstand, whatever makes sense to you to really tap into that awareness and knowledge. So right, so that's the first part. And then the second part where you mentioned that you met this guy and it wasn't an accident, right? You are accepting that you see a little bit of yourself in everyone you meet. Can we time out on the play? So coming back to just that first part of there being a divine power, or call it God, call it whatever you want, call it divinity. If all of that is in us and we are part of that, that means everyone has that same thing. So it's really powerful actually for you, Quincy, and everyone else to have that same perspective, that same scope, that I see myself in you. And the only reason you could do that is because you have it in you and they have
Right,
it in them. Right?
right,
That's the
right.
divinity, and that's really that next level. So you hit that on the head. I hope people are like grasping that and are able to ingest it and use it, because that right there by itself, like we could probably end it right there, but we have a lot to talk about today. But I just wanted to
But guess
pause and be
what?
like, look, that's real.
I'm about to hit you with this one. You know, it's heavily on the mindset because we was made up out of a thought. That's all it was a thought. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's why we have to learn how to work our mental mind. We have to learn how to do things on a different type of law. You know what I'm saying? So we are put here to do things the right way. You know, and even when, you know, and it's another segment, when you're talking about the human heart, loving in a
Mhm.
different type of way, you have to be mindful that comes out your mouth because everything comes from here. Everything comes from the heart. So with that being one of the things to create certain things that come out in an emotional aspect, we got to be careful what we say. And by using the mind and the heart together, oh man, hey man, it's
That's that. So now, just so everyone is on the same page, Quincy's talking about that mind heart cohesion, right? That consistency of what you think and what you feel being on the same page. And from my studies and my understanding, that is really when we can become or create the heaven on earth that we want, right? Because
most definitely, most
to
definitely.
your point, everything starts with the thought. And it's so true. The clothes you're wearing, the house you live in, the street you live on, everything was designed up here first, and then it became a reality out here. But it takes that intentional focus to see it through. Because if you're building a house and you give up on it, like while you're still building the foundation, you're not gonna have a house, right? So you got to stick through that, keep that same vision, keep that same thought, keep that same energy inside your heart. And this is all on theme, protecting your energy to see it all the way through. That's just like the house analogy. But um you had said, what was it? Right. So if right, we can start to see things in that way and start to really have that mind heart connection. And the last part that you mentioned about the word, I don't want to necessarily get too biblical. It said, let there be light, and there was, right?
Right, right.
And not to just take it to just the Bible, because that's a whole nother conversation. However, most simple, the initial kind of second step to manifestation in our world after the thought is the word. When you speak something and it turns into a sound wave and it goes out, man, look, that is the first step. So, like we have, like you said, we have to be careful with what we say. We have to be careful what we think and be careful with what we say. And that turns into what we do and who we become. So, bro, I don't know if people are ready for this conversation. Like we were supposed to just be talking about like relationships and emotions, but this is perfect, man. This is right on time, honestly.
Right,
So
right.
so if we could take it a step further, right?
Mhm.
Because a lot of young people with social media and different influences pulling them here and there, we all have that inner voice in us, but I want to get your perspective on it. How can we tap into that awareness so that we can use that awareness in our lives with who we choose to have as friends, who we choose to have as partners and relationships? Like, so do you have any insight on that?
Well, for one, I want to let you know your voice is your character. For
Mm,
one, your voice is your character. It's who you are.
mm,
You know, you
mm,
can't change that. But the thing about it, you would know if you are lined up right and you using your mind right, you will know who's for you and who's not for you to hang with. Like, for you, for instance, we met on the aspect of talking about nutrition and
Right,
talking about getting in shape. Look where we at now. So certain people is assigned to you and put into you while you're going through this journey called life. It's no cheat sheet.
right,
It's no way around it. It's no shortcut. The only way out this journey is through it. So you have to be mindful while you're going through this journey called life. You just really have to be mindful. Just
mm,
like okay, we only got one of these, and it's called life. So in school, we given a practice, right, for the test.
mm.
We could study for the test. But in life, you don't get no study, you don't get no
You
practice,
just
you don't
tossed
get
into the deep end.
you don't get none of that. You don't get
Right.
no study, you don't get no practice, you don't get no do-over, none of that. One. So you got to make sure that you're doing this thing right, man. And you got to really be mindful of the things that you do. You really have to use your mind. So you really got to, unclutter your mind with a lot of things and just make sure that you're just doing the right thing. Main thing is just having integrity for self, having morals for self, man. Having self-respect. That's the main thing, man. Respecting yourself, other people, and everything around you. You have to understand that part, man. You really do. You know.
You said integrity and having that self-respect, and I 100% agree with you. However, I think to a certain extent that because we live in the modern world, a lot of people sometimes take advantage of people with integrity. And I believe that there's a lot of good people out there, 100%. That's not where I'm going with this. However, when people see you as like a nice guy, air quotes, nice guy, they often take advantage of the nice guy. Like they say the nice guys finish last, right? And that's a whole nother conversation. It's not 100% true. But what it does mean is that they tend to get taken advantage of, right? So, and a lot of guys are naive and as they're coming up into it. And to your point, you got to go through it. Oftentimes, you kind of have to, scratch up your knees a little bit to realize what's what.
Well, going through it, you got to build the boundaries. I understand having integrity, but you got to have boundaries about certain things. You got to set certain things. Well, when I'm saying having morals, have some self-respect, have some self-dignity, but have some upbringing about yourself. Because see, when I'm saying I'm set on morals, like I was raised in a household. My grandmother and my dad's mom and dad 75 years together. My
Mm,
mom's mom and dad 65 years together. That's having morals of looking at the things at a different aspect when it comes to relationships or building a solid foundation. A solid foundation. So those one the aspect of having morals. But I understand when you say, I heard that saying, "Nice guys finish last." I don't really, don't I understand that, but I don't like the saying because the thing
right.
about it, we could be nice guys with boundaries, straight up. And learn how to reinvent yourself. Learn how to become that better version of you, because everything that you go through builds you. If it don't kill you, it builds you. It builds you to become a better version of you. So you have to go through certain things. But the thing about it is all relies up here. It's either you grasp it, take it, use it, instead of just letting it overpower your mind and putting you in a space, a stagnant mindset. No, no, everything you get it for the build, to rebuild.
Mm,
It's it's it's
mm.
it's construction every day. Men, we tear down and rebuild every day, brick by brick. But we got to make sure we have a solid foundation. But we got to put in the bricks of integrity, wisdom, smartness, worthiness. You know what I'm saying? The boundaries. We got to put those bricks in the right way with the right mortar. So we got to build to, we just got to build, man. It's a daily construction, man. Daily.
So I want to figure out how we can help the young cats out there develop that because I think it's something that most people have to develop if they've never like been aware of it, right? And
Right.
so this is all about to tie together because when you mentioned and like kind of relating to like the whole nice guy thing and being taken advantage of, I I believe 100% that we all, and you guys can put in the comments whether you disagree or not. I believe we all see the signs, right? whether it's a friend, a partner, a family member, we all see the signs. And at some point, we either ignore it, decide to kind of put a towel over it, like, that'll be fine. However, kind of coming back to your having integrity, having morals, having self-respect, how can a young man coming up have that awareness to know whether his friend is not good for him to hang around with and have the integrity to make the right decision, to know whether that girl he's going with is not right for him, and to know this and then have the integrity to make the right decision? What are your thoughts on that?
My thing is, for one, stop giving everything the benefit of the doubt. Stop it. We got to learn how to start saying no. When it's not right, learn how to start saying no. Don't care how another person feels to what you're saying. That no can save you.
Mm,
You just don't know that no can save you.
I
And much
felt
as
that
that we
right
want to,
there. I felt that. Sorry, I felt that. I'm speaking to my youngest self, yo. I should have just said no, but go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to
much
interrupt
as you
you.
want to get there and get caught up, and the hype, and it's so much peer pressure out here, and how uh, society got it to where you have to be this certain standards, or you have to be this popular person, or you have to be this. No, see, I was a loner in school, and the thing about it, I was authentic. I was 100% raw, and everybody loved me because I was me. I didn't have to go out and be this, and I still carry the same character today. That's why a lot of people gravitate to me and be like, man, it's something about you. It's just me. When I walk out with love and care and charisma, resilience, and I go out to create whatever it is, create a smile, go to work and create something at work. That's just on my mind of just being a selfless person, man. So one thing when it comes to the younger kids, we just have to be mindful, man. Much as we want to get into it, we just have to say no. Stop giving everything the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, it looks good, but it's not good. Yeah, it looks fun, but it's not fun. Maybe they could get away with it, but as soon as you get there with them, you go get caught up. It
Mm,
always falls like that. You get caught up. But hey, they ain't worried about that. Don't worry about
right.
if Jonathan or Mark was doing something, but you got caught up with Jonathan and Mark, and now they've been getting away with it, but you couldn't get away with it. So we have to understand, like, being mindful, man. Being mindful, being able to be voices for the younger generation, younger men. You know what I'm saying? Give them a voice to hearken to. Get them to understand that it's all right. Open up. It's all right. Yeah, I know it's hard sometimes. Just gain their trust, man. And I done gained a lot of kids' trust over the time, man, and they just come to me, man. For instance, I stayed out here in Texas. I was at the store. This little guy, he was 25 years old at East Chase. He was walking by, he was crying. And the other guy was
Mm,
talking to me, and I happened to notice him. I went off and I noticed him. I said, hey, man, where you going? This man was about to go and jump off the bridge.
dang.
This young man was about to go and jump off the bridge and end his life. 25 years old, two kids at home,
Mm,
a wife at home. So I stopped him. I said, man, he said, man, you ain't got time. I said, bro, I stop whatever I'm doing to help you out right now. He said, man, I got a lot going on, but nobody's wanting to listen. I said, bro, look, whatever I'm doing, I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to listen to you. I don't care what I got going on. Mine is that. I said, but the divine source put me here for reasons to talk to you, to listen to you. So let's talk. Man, we talked for about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. Man, this man hugged me twice,
mm,
dapped me out twice, and I said, man, go home to your family. Because you know why? He said, man, nobody want to listen to me. I got so much in my mind, so much that I'm battling with, so much that's going on in my head. Like, I ain't got no way, nobody want to listen to me. My wife don't want to listen to me. I ain't got no, my brothers and, no, he didn't have nobody to go to. And that's one thing we gotta have people, these young men, to have them a way out, man. We have to. Because the thing about it is self-destruction. If I'd never been there, we'd have heard about him on the news.
damn.
Heard about him on the news, man. And he was
Yes.
bawling, bro. He was just crying, bro. I'm talking about, man, he had me crying, bro. Because I felt him. I
Mm,
seen my younger self in him.
right.
I was once there, you know, heading down self-destruction of doing certain things in the streets and, just going down that path of just, living without a care in the world, not worrying about what happens to me. But I'm glad I was there to save that young man, man. I told him, go home to your family, man. And I was able to listen to him. He went home. I got his number still to this day, man. I check up on him every once in a while, man. You know,
That's
he's
what's
doing
up.
good. He's doing
That's
good,
what's
man.
up.
He's doing
You
good,
know,
man.
you even made me just think about that's a touching story, but it's so real, man. Like, with the business that I have, I only work with men, and I hear all the stories, man. And breakups are specifically, and I don't know, what this guy had going on, but I know for me in my life and for a lot of the guys I talk to, breakups are a huge thing for a lot of men because we have sometimes honestly we come off real hard and like strong, but we have the biggest hearts, you know what I'm saying? Like we be the ones to like take the clothes off our back just to make sure you warm, I'm like, we will do
Man,
whatever it
you
takes. And so whenever that situation happens that severs us from the person we've been giving our love to, usually unconditionally, and then stuff happens, like that hits hard, right? So and I could even speak from experience from my breakups. Like I was like, yo, what is life right now? Like, I don't need to go on. Like, this was supposed to be my everyone right here, where I gave everything to. I made all these sacrifices, now it's done. And, you know, being able to navigate from that to finding yourself again, finding that ability to love again is really challenging for a lot of people. And I think that's
man.
probably one of the main things that really gets men messed up in these days, like giving our love to someone and then having it taken away. So, especially for like the young guys coming up into it, to your point, if I'm gonna let you go really quick, but to your point, oftentimes, and I think about it again, just from my own personal experience of going through breakups and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, being able to get into another relationship months later or years later or whatever, it seems like it is the end of the world. It is probably the most pain that a man can go through is to lose the love of his life and to not have things go the way he wants. However, life does go on. And what I've found, for me at least, is that when you come out of that, you're stronger than you were when you went into it. And I think you touched on it in the beginning of, or maybe maybe there's another time you spoke about us having to develop that callus, being able to go through the pressure to create the diamond within us. But I wanted to get like your intake or your perspective on going through heartache and how to, as a man, how to like come out of it and become better.
Okay, I'm gonna say two things, two major things before we get into it. One, the breakup feels like a death
Yeah,
to a man because we lost something we invested in. Men, we a woman. Let me tell you like this: a women, it hits them harder, but they get over it faster.
right.
It hit us late, but it take us harder to get over it when it comes to a breakup. Because the simple fact is that when a man gives a part of his heart, it's different. When a man really loves you from that aspect, it's really different. Yeah, they got, men out here doing certain things or whatever like that and could do it without any attachment. You know, that's another subject. That's on those guys. But when you have men out here that really love somebody, that really gives their heart, it's different, man. And yes, it's painful. It's hurtful. But you got to understand certain things happen to build you to become a better version, a better, stronger person of you, to get to that ascension. Some things that you have to go through to get you to your next level. And not saying that you might just have to ascend for to set the bar for her to get there. You don't know how it goes. You never know. So one thing, we gotta stay at a high vibration, man. Straight up. We gotta vibrate high. We have to be on the same level. It can't be no stagnant, it can't be this or that. We gotta be balanced. We gotta be balanced out. So when they have this one thing is that, in certain things, sometimes you outgrow a situation. And if that person not coming up with you, if you can't grow with me, you can't go with me. Straight up. But the thing about it, sometimes the divine will take the man to get him to set the bar. And if she's willing, if she's supposed to be there, if she's supposed to be that part of that what you got have going on in that journey, it's gonna come. It's gonna be there. Might not be on your timing. Because sometimes we're getting certain things and it might not be our time. Because you know what? Think about it. The heart wants what the heart wants.
Right.
But we end up putting ourselves in certain situations that we get mad at this or that or whatever like that. But Everything is a lesson. Like I was speaking on, I had a subject I was speaking on. You got the lesson, the seasons, and the lifetime. You learn the lessons in the season to get to your lifetime. So you have to learn, you have to go through the lesson to get through the season to understand if they're even supposed to be in your lifetime. So you have to understand those things, man. You really have to understand and tread lightly and be mindful. So that's one of the things that our intuition, our discernment have to kick in. Stop ignoring the red flags. Because we have that thing, we going to give the benefit of the doubt, like, okay, yeah, I feel this, I feel that. Was it even divine?
Mm.
Was it even meant to run across your path? And sometimes when we get in certain situations that, yeah, you will go through a situation to build you and help you, but sometimes we have to understand certain things are sent to us for tests, man. We're tested daily. We're tested heavily. So we have to understand what and decipher out what's for us and what's not. But who doesn't say that, like I was speaking on before? We have to elevate first. If she's meant to come with us, she's going to come there. She's going to meet us there if she's meant to be there. And understand sometimes, we get stuck on the moments, knowing that
Mm-hmm.
somebody we love, we gotta depart from them. It's cool. That's all right. Yes, it hurts. But guess what? It gets better over time. It gets greater over time. You step into the better version of you. Sometimes you gotta die a little in the inside to find greatness within yourself.
That's the truth, man. That
that's,
is the
that's,
truth.
that's just how it is, man.
Yo,
That's just how it is.
you really keep hitting it on the head because when you were mentioning about, keeping the balance, right? And you can't be here and here. I remember my most tumultuous relationship. I always used to say this to her. I was like, babe, I feel like we're on a bicycle path and a highway. Like we are not on the same level, right? And like you said, Quincy, that's not gonna work. It just won't. So we as the man, as you said, have to get the bar here. Like I said, raise the bar. We gotta raise the bar to here.
See,
And
I ain't
then
never knew that. I
ideally,
ain't pay attention to that.
right. That's the whole idea, man. We got to raise the bar and keep it up and keep raising it because that's the whole point. And ideally, what ends up happening is when you keep that energy high and you radiating this good energy, people will come to you that you need in your life. It's just like it's cause and effect, right? But if you're gonna be here in this low energy and meet another person here with this low energy, you guys are gonna be hitting heads and bickering. You need to set the pace and then get it going in the right
Yeah,
direction.
because
So,
because your partner has to be teachable and willing. That's point blank. Period. Teaching and willing. At some point in this thing called life, a great separation going to come at certain times to never know, bring you close back together. You never know. You don't know. So you really have to still be mindful while you're going through the breakup, while you're going through the stage. Not saying, hey, oh, begging for it to come back. No, put that in the back of your mind and do what you have to do. Get yourself back together. Get back on track. Get back on. Set the bar. Set some boundaries. Set your bar high. Do certain things. Like for me, what helped me out was working out and motivational speaking, bro. And even meeting you, bro. Like through my journey, bro. When everything first started, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie, man. Shout out to you, bro. Cause like you checked up on me when times that I needed it, bro. I really did need
mm,
it. And I appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate you, bro. Like, man, I knew that when I met you, this wasn't just for working out. And I told you that. I said, man, it's not just for working out, bro. It's not just for the nutritionist thing. It's more to this, man. Because like we meet people for reasons, man. We on this journey called life, man, we meet people that need to be there, that's supposed to be there, while we going through certain things. So I just hope
real
this message
talk.
get out to others and help them and help save them from not having gone through most of the drastic things and have uh, tools and outlets to help them go through it instead of going through that mental mind stage of going to suicidal moments and depression and deep depression and just didn't want to give up. No, that's what we're doing this for, to help,
Right.
get them a way out, you know? You
So
know,
so
and
let's actually sorry to cut you off. Let's actually give a couple real tools, like outside of just having integrity and morals. Let's talk about specifics, right? So from my perspective, and I'm gonna have you give me yours as well. One of the most important things that I think individuals can do in relationships is having communication. Open, transparent, raw, if necessary. And oftentimes it is necessary to have that raw conversation you don't really want to have to really hash things out and figure out where you stand. Um, and then I'm curious what your scope is on that, and then what you would advise.
for one, you can communication, but now it's comprehension.
Mm,
We can
mm,
communicate, but if you can't comprehend it, but the thing about it when it comes to communication, talk about it while you're dating. Don't wait till you get in a relationship to talk about certain things are the big things are the major things. Because the thing about it, that will give me a way to understand and determine, well, okay, is I'm meeting this person expect, certain things. And no, don't go with expectations. Please stop it. Don't go with expectations because expectations put you in an aspect of not of the appreciation. If that makes sense of stop expecting certain things and appreciate each other because the expectancy is going to grow together. It's
yep.
going to grow together. That's why I say you don't fall in love with nobody, you grow in love. It's no such thing. Fall. Why? I don't want you to catch me and I don't want to catch you. No, we grow into this thing. So that thing right there is a major part of just understanding, conversing on a whole intellectual level. And I have this thing, man. For instance, I told my wife that we going through a little thing right now, but I just know everything is gonna. It's you never know how it turns out. Never know how it turns out. But what I first told her, I said, I want to make love to your mind before I even touch your body. I want to touch you here, because if I get you here, we can get to that aspect, and everything will be a whole totally different on a whole intellectual, on a whole platonic level, to where we can communicate. We could
Mm.
communicate on a whole different level, whole different
So,
plane.
so let me ask you this, right? Because I 100% agree. I think having conversations before you get too serious is important, right? However, for the guys who want to like take notes if they're dating someone and thinking about getting serious, what would you say would be like maybe three really important conversation topics, for example, to have?
I got more than three, but I can give you my three top. Um, One, do you see yourself? What are your goals?
Hmm.
Where do you see yourself at in the next 5, 10 years? And the thing about it, we don't ask those questions. We don't. Number three, okay, what is your aspect of what a family looks like to you? Four, did you have a father figure in your life? Five, what are some things that you can see that when it comes to, are you able to be held accountable? Are you able to, to grow? Are you able to understand when it comes to certain things of understanding your responsibility of taking the accountability? You know what I'm saying?
Hold up, hold up.
Six.
I know you got more. Hold up, hold up. We gotta make sure people can grasp it, bro. Gotta make sure people can grasp it because you're 100% right. And you guys, we're gonna most likely have another chat because we're already about 40 minutes in, and there's still a bunch of questions we didn't even talk about. So having these five questions, I 100% agree. I actually remember I asked a couple chicks. I don't remember where I heard about these questions when you're dating, and these are really powerful questions to ask. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when you ask a woman these questions, she looks at you differently automatically. She's gonna be like, "Oh, this guy, he knows his stuff. This guy is serious. He's not just out here playing games. He's not trying to waste his time with me if I'm not on the same page as he's at. Because if he's here, I gotta try to catch up because he's clearly talking about 5-year goals, and most people don't think about even 3-year goals or 1-year goals. So she'll see that okay, he has his mind on the future. He's trying to map things out and be intentional. And that's probably my big thing, being intentional. So these are fantastic questions. Make sure you guys write these questions down and have them in your phone so you can ask them the next time you're on a date, because that's the time to ask it. Don't be out
For real,
here
man. For real.
talking to
Because
somebody for months and not know anything about them. Like truly know like about them, like what their values are and whatnot. Like that is absolutely, absolutely important. So
even
um
what number 6, how was your childhood? What was your
look,
childhood traumas?
bro,
What was your
look,
childhood traumas like? How was your how was did you how everything went in your childhood? How
how's
everything
your
went? Because see,
relationship
that's
with
the
your
thing that
parents?
we all suffer from. Think about this here. I'm gonna go here. There are a lot of broken people out here getting into relationships. They're
Hmm?
not fully healed. Because you know why? For one, little boys been hurt by their mothers. Little girls been hurt by their daddies. And the thing about it, we're all broken people getting in a relationship. You have to do the root work and go all the way back down to the root and go back to your childhood traumas. I'm telling you, bro, this is where I've been at. I went all the way back and found out I had to go to childhood to dive into that to become a better version, a greater version of who I am today. To even know this what I'm speaking about today. I had to go there. It's like, okay, Quincy, what was the first thing that hurt you? What was your first hurt? What sparked it off? And I had to like, that's it. Okay, then I went to my teen years. Then I went to my adult life. And I had to go through those stages to understand where to break those cycles. Because if we don't break those cycles, hurt people will continue hurting people.
Bro, hold up, brother. Like, look, you are hitting everything on the head right now, and you are 100% right. Like the way that we grow, like I think the statistics say the first 3 to 7 years of your life dictate your whole life, right? Because we often, especially men, we do not go back and self-heal. Like you said, a lot of us have been hurt from when we were young and just never got that trauma sorted out. So we keep kind of reliving that trauma in different ways by getting the same type of relationships that continue to hurt us in the same ways that we were hurt when we were younger. And from what I've become aware of after in 10 years of my coaching, most men don't talk to anybody about nothing. They just live with it, sit on it, let it fester.
But you know why? They don't have a safe place. They don't have a safe place. It's always swept up under the rug, bottled up, bottled up, bottled up, bottled up until one day you explode. We don't have a safe place. That's why we are doing this here right now to where we can have a safe place. Because I'm gonna tell you like this here. I'm a person like this here. If you ain't never been through nothing, I'm not gonna listen to you. I'm just being honest. We two lost people talking about something that I got a problem, but you don't have can't help me with the solution. But we could also talk about other things that can mount up to, any other thing to where, things that we have going on. And, it's never a void when it comes to men talking. And we got this thing to where we got to walk around with this chip on our shoulder, looking at them all crazy, this and that, man. But the thing about it, that person that's looking at you crazy is hurt.
Yep.
He's going through something, but he don't know how to channel it. He channeled in anger. He channeled in another way of, I'm gonna just be this
Drugs.
stoic, tough guy. What, man? You're hurting, bro. I see it. You're hurting. So let's talk. Let's talk.
Hmm.
We don't have no safe place, and that's the thing. We have to create safe place for men. We have to create safe places, man. And I mean, we was talking about working out one time, and I was like last year. And I was like, man, yeah, you can work out much as you want, but if your mind not together, you still not gonna get the results in the gym.
That's real. That's real. You be going
Cause
through the
you could you
motions and not even like really focusing on what it takes to see the result
and
that you
you
really
you
want.
you lifting that you mad at this person or this relationship or this here you working out, you thinking you gaining muscle. You might be getting stronger, but you're not getting defined in the spots that you want to get defined in. And I'm speaking on that because I had to understand it. I had to realize that part, man. I really had to realize it. Now my workouts been different, been
Mm.
different. They've been different. They've been
You know, it's funny you bring that up because, and especially in the gym fitness community, there's this whole thing about people going through breakups for the motivation to go ham in the gym, right? Oh, this joint cheated on me. I'm about to go crazy and let out all my aggression on the weights. Now, that's like a twofold perspective I have on that in my years of coaching. on one side, it's constructive because you're not taking that aggression out on another person, right? But to your point, it is not a healthy perspective to have when you're going to the gym to better yourself, not to think about someone else and have that negative energy festering in your body. That is never a positive thing. You should go into the gym with the scope of, I am here to make myself better, period. Not to get over someone, not to deal with my issues. And so to your point, we need a safe place for men to be able to navigate that stuff so that they can healthily move past situations and not just allow that to be a source of motivation in the gym, right?
Right.
So
I just think in a gym, we should have a relationship too in the gym with men. Hey, like this gym buddy type of thing, because like I met a lot of guys in the gym. Everybody lift from their own different uh thing. When my dad was here, when he was in my life, he would make me do rep sheets because he was an old school bodybuilder, so he'd be like, okay, you got in trouble, go do this rep sheet. Like, okay. And then if you ain't do it, if you figure I ain't did it right or did it, go do it again. But it became a part of my lifestyle. So
mhm.
when I go to the gym, I love it. This is a part of me. This is something that I love. It's like, bro, if I don't work out, I don't feel right. It's like something is missing. Something is missing. I wouldn't sleep right. I would feel right. My day wouldn't go right. That's why I tell you I keep dumbbells with me. I
I
got my
see them right
push-up
there
bars up in
behind
here.
you.
I got my bands. You know what I'm saying? I keep all that, man, because like even if I came from the gym, I might do me 50 push-ups before I go to bed. Do me some curls before I go to bed. Wake up in the morning, do 50 push-ups when I get up. Do some curls before I go to work. That. Because my thing is, if you could pick up any type of weight, you could face anything in the world.
That's my thing because I've realized the kind of correlation between resistance training and resistance in life and how it can translate to you improving, right? And that's you really hit it on the head, and we might have to close this up soon because we're running out of time. But when you can have that relationship with yourself, with the gym or whatever equipment where it's like, okay, this is resistance and I'm using it to get better. Once you change your perspective and you can turn that into now I enjoy the resistance. Now I enjoy the challenges and overcoming those challenges because that's what always makes me better. That is, I think, something that's really missing in a lot of men's lives where they're afraid to go to the gym because of social anxiety, for example, or they don't know what they're doing, for example, or it's hard to work out because it hurts their muscles, having a different kind of transmuted relationship with that, I think is everything for a man to be able to overcome those challenges. Because at the end of the day, there will always be challenges, there will always be obstacles. So we can't run from the obstacles. We should be running towards it because that callus that you develop, that confidence that you develop makes you man, it makes you the man that you want to be. Everything that we are fearful from is really what's holding us down. Once you can approach fear, take it on, and overcome it, man, like you said, you could take on anything else in the world. You could become whatever you want. So you guys, I think we might have to wrap this call up, this conversation up about protecting your energy. Let's just consider this a part one, because like
Part
I said,
two. Let me know.
I
Let me
got,
know you want to do part two, man. I'm
you
ready.
already know, you
I'm
already
ready,
know.
man.
And let you
Look,
guys, and you guys in the
look.
comments
Let me
say
show
what
you.
you're
Look,
looking for. You got
there's one notebook.
books.
There's two notebook. Three notebook. Four notebook. Five notebook. I got my other two in the room. Look, hold up,
You
hold
got a
up.
storage, you got a storage unit in the back.
It go other two more. I, hey, bro, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Let's go.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
So everyone watching, look, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a couple more conversations on this subject. And it might even deviate from the subject, but right now we're specifically talking about protecting your energy, and we gave you a bunch of tools, a bunch of perspectives to have while dating, a bunch of things to consider when you're trying to like take steps with another woman or whatever you're into. And so I want you guys to always keep the stuff in the front of your mind, not in the back of your mind. All of this stuff, having self-esteem, having self-respect and morals, integrity, that should be in the front of your mind and really with you with every decision that you make, with everyone you run across, and have that scope that these people are just like you to some extent, and you need to look and see that similarity versus seeing what makes you so different. And we can always find that love to move forward and to improve and to have that integrity to do the right thing at all times. So I thank everyone for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Till then, you already know the bar has been raised. Talk to you guys soon.